TCT presents Public Report, a look at the issues and events of importance to our viewing area. Now, here's your host.
Hello and welcome to Public Report. So glad you're with us today. I hope you're having a marvelous day wherever you are across our region. We are here at TCT and we've got a great program in store for you. If you're brand new to TCT and to Public Report, we want to say welcome. And let me tell you first of all what Public Report is, a program designed to bring to you topics of information that we believe is very important to you, your family, and the community of which we live. And I want to tell you, we have one of those programs today. I believe you're going to be greatly inspired through our program today. Joining me here at Public Report is Miss Abby Kowser Barnett. She is foster care licensing specialist with the Caritas Family Solutions. Abby, welcome to the program.
Thank you. Thank you.
So good having you with us today. And this is going to be a great program. First of all, I want to ask, what is Caritas Family Solutions all about?
Sure. Caritas Family Solutions is a human service agency, and we promote the well-being of individuals of all backgrounds within the 42 southernmost counties in Illinois. So basically the bottom third of the state. We work with individuals of all backgrounds across all ages to help them reach their full potential. And we serve about 4,500 people annually through all of our programs.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is really, the program, is it a foster care, dealing with children?
Yeah, well, that is our largest program,
Okay.
but we offer a variety of programs within our agency.
Well, first of all, tell me a little bit about yourself, how you got involved, because
Sure.
you seem to be really passionate about what you're doing.
Absolutely.
But what brought you to be involved with this program?
Sure. Well, I just celebrated my 6-year anniversary with Caritas in January.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I started off working as a case assistant, helping facilitate parent-child visits of children who have been removed from their parents. Fell in love with the work, fell in love with the agency, got my degree, and now I work as a licensing specialist.
Wow, wonderful. You know, I think as we were chatting before we come on the air, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding or maybe just a lack of knowledge among most people about foster care, what it, excuse me, what it does offer, and really what the program is about. Is there a great need in our area here in Southern Illinois? I know you may not have exact numbers or whatever, but is there a great need of foster care or children in that program in our area?
Absolutely, absolutely. There are thousands of children within foster care. It's every town in Illinois, it's every county. It is widespread, and we are always needing good homes to provide, to help children in that transition. It's the scariest time of their life, and we need loving homes to provide them that safety and guidance while they're working to be reunified with their birth families.
So what ages does foster care, is there an age limit or whatever?
We run the gamut on ages from infants and newborns all the way up through teens. I know that with foster homes, we really have a need of homes that can take in school-age children and even high school students. We know that sometimes those age groups can be a little more challenging. They've seen a little bit more. Sometimes they have some behavioral issues, that sort of thing. But, I've seen myself that when you put these children into the right home and with the right support, they just blossom into amazing people they're meant to be.
Oh, that's amazing. You know, in our area, you said you cover, the third?
42 counties.
That's a lot of counties.
It is.
Is there different counties that seem to have more children in the program? I know not every county is the same size, so I don't know if you can measure it by that demographic. Or what families are you seeing where these children are coming from?
Sure. There's all different reasons, and I think that's one unfortunate stereotype is that children come into foster care because they have bad families who don't love them and don't want them, and that's that's not the case. These are parents who are struggling with, extenuating circumstances, whether that be substance abuse or mental illness, and they just need that support to help them be the best people they can be to successfully parent their children. And that's what our agency and our foster care program is. It's more than just helping the children, it's helping the family as a whole.
Yes. Have you seen over your 6 years, have you seen it increasing, becoming a greater, I don't want to say problem, but has it become a greater issue over the past 6 years throughout our region?
Well, I would say yes, and I know our agency has even grown to meet those needs. So it's something that it's not going away, unfortunately.
Right.
And we are using the full team to support, our parents and families and all their needs.
What about among like minorities? I know we've got a great Hispanic community in our area. We have, of course, the great white population and, of course, the African American population. Do you see one that seems to be more predominant issues than the other, or is it just kind of pretty well even across the board?
Unfortunately, child abuse and neglect doesn't, fall into any restrictions in terms of different demographics of people. It affects people of all races, all socioeconomic backgrounds. It's a nasty monster, and it doesn't, play favorites with anyone. It affects everyone.
Yeah, Ms. Abby, I know you have submitted to us a number of questions to talk about on the program, and we're probably, you may be answering it all through the questions that I'm asking you now, but this really does, being a pastor, and I have some foster parents in my church, and I see these children, but I think, as I said earlier, there's a lot of misunderstanding that we have, or maybe I'm going to say lack of knowledge, to think that all of these children in the program are just children that a parent has thrown to the side.
Sure.
But that's really not true. Tell us some of those dynamics of what you're seeing and why these kids are in the program.
Well, children come into care for a wide variety of reasons, and most of the time there's, one extenuating factor or a combination that would cause a parent not to be able to successfully parent their children. So that's when, the state intervenes and the children come to us. So we work with the parents and the kids to help eliminate those reasons that they came into care. Like I said, whether it's mental illness, substance abuse, things like that. And so if we can help support them through that, then they're able to successfully parent.
Do you find that, of course, I know, again, being a pastor and dealing with, issues from time to time, that the courts sometimes have to step in, or Department of Family Services, whatever it's called, has to step in and, remove the children because it's just a bad situation. And the whole deal is they're not trying to break a family up, but they have to protect children. Right. But are you finding where parents are realizing, wait a minute, we just can't do this, because of maybe different reasons, from economics to, as you said, we're in a world where drug abuse is at an all-time high in rate, to other issues that they feel like this is the best for our children. Are you guys seeing that?
Unfortunately, there are circumstances where parents are not able to be reunified with their children, and that's when you see kiddos staying long-term with their foster parents or being adopted by their foster parents. But, we really want the outcome for these kiddos. What's best for them is to be with their family of birth, to be healthy and happy in that home, and that's really what we work towards.
I love the personal stories, and I know you can't share names and such as that, but is there any one story or something that would maybe come to your mind? I know I'm putting you on the spot with this, to where say, hey, we had these children, we took them in, there was a separated time, but because of the program and working with the children, working with parents, it resolved to make a great family?
Honestly, there's been so many. It's a daily, weekly basis, and what keeps me in this job is the little success stories, because it's not necessarily, the end game, the big hurrah at the end that's the success. It's the little moments of, seeing a parent really learn to talk to their child. Maybe they haven't learned the ways to speak to them about things that they've experienced because they haven't seen that before from their own parents. So learning those techniques through like our counseling program, learning that, putting it into place, that's huge for me, that we could make that difference with someone.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you know, I want to get to all your questions, but like I said, you may have answered all of them, but I'm going to start with some. Why would anybody seek the services? Why should somebody seek the services of Caritas?
A wide variety of reasons, but at the core, it's that they are going through a challenging time in their life and they're looking for support. So we've talked about, you know, foster care, and we're connecting kiddos with a family and also helping that family unit come back together. But we also have an adoption program, so it could be that a mother has an unexpected pregnancy and she's seeking either pregnancy care or what decisions to make that are best for her and her baby. Or conversely, it could be a family who maybe suffers from infertility issues or is just looking to expand their family through adoption. We also have community members come to us where they've noticed you know, an at-risk teen maybe who's in danger of being incarcerated, and they come to us for our multi-systemic therapy program. And then we also have, you know, individuals or couples or sometimes even families come to us for a therapy program or counseling. And, you know, whether that be marital issues or maybe someone has suffered some sort of grief or a loss in the family, they come to us for that. So.
You know, as you're talking, it just brought to my attention. This happened in my family recently, to where one of our family members got to adopt a newborn baby from a family.
Yes.
It wasn't that they didn't want the child, but their circumstances, because of economics, they already had a number, I think, of other children, and the circumstances was they were overwhelmed of thinking, how could we take care of another little one? And we think, how could a mom or a dad even think that way? But I'm not in that pressure. And
absolutely.
But it came to our home, to our family, you know, our cousin, that they were able to be right there. They got the call to go right to the hospital, to be in the room when the baby's born.
Oh, wonderful.
And to embrace the child, and knowing now that the baby is going to be in a very secure, very loving, you know, godly home. I'm going to say that, where it's going to be really, really raised purely. Not that the other family wouldn't do that, but it's just the circumstances. And again, I think, Abby, these are things that our viewers don't think about. We just see a system. We see all of these kids. We look at them in one sense, if we're not careful, we'll look at them troubled. They didn't ask for this picture.
No, they didn't. And speaking with the private adoption, I do want to touch on the fact that through our private adoption, we do offer free counseling for expecting parents. If that's even something that maybe they're considering, maybe they find themselves in a situation where they don't feel like they can provide the best life for that child, they can get free counseling through our office to kind of help them if they want to maybe come up with an adoption plan.
That's so good, Abby. I'm glad you said that, you know, even at this time, because I believe there's people watching us that could very well be in that circumstance right now. But also on the other side of that, they're looking to adopt. Maybe there's a good family, I'm going to say it like that's not able to have children, or like my family, they already had 2 children. And it wasn't that they couldn't have more, I don't think, but they just wanted more children. And they thought, why, when there's so many children hurting, why we couldn't? So if there's a parent looking, and you just said, if somebody sees a need, say, you know, that we need to give up this child, they could call your company, right?
Yes, absolutely. They can call actually our regional office in Carterville, and they can speak to somebody. Even if it's just something that they're maybe considering, we can help talk you through that and give you all the best options. So
if somebody is looking to be an adoptive parent, where do they need to go?
Same thing. You can either go on our website, which is the www.caritasfamily.org, or you can call the regional office, which is 618-985-2000, and ask to speak to someone there.
Just because some of them may not know, what would be the process? If they called you today and got a hold of you, say, listen, we would like to get our name on a list, what would be some of the process that you will walk them through to get there?
Okay. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I don't work in the private adoption. But I can tell you we have 2 workers right now who handle that, and they are phenomenal. They'll sit down, have that conversation with you. I know some of it is similar to what we do in licensing for foster parents in terms of age requirements, the ability to pass a background check. They need to be in good health and be able to complete a home assessment. And honestly, one of the most important things is, having that desire and love of children and wanting to help them and provide a loving home to them. It's one of our most important things.
That's awesome. What kind of time frame? Again, I know you're not the specialist in that field.
Sure.
And I'm asking questions, but from the kind of start, and I know it's probably not to the detail, but how much time does it take, usually once the process starts, to become an adoptive parent?
I honestly, you threw me on that one. I'm not sure. I'm not sure on that timeline. I know it's all kind of dependent on people, what they're able to do. A lot of it, if they're able to get things submitted within a certain time. And then in terms of, being able to adopt, that's dependent on, the birth mothers and when that comes available. We don't really have timelines on that.
Sure.
So, yep.
Well, let's talk about foster parenting.
Okay.
What it takes to be a foster parent.
Yep. Well, at its core, providing for the basic needs of a child at this, like I said, this, very frightening time of their life. But more than that, we want people who are willing to, fully embrace this child into their family, welcome them as one of their own, helping them with, there's stress and trauma that comes along with being brought into care and supporting them through that. So, and then same requirements like with adoption. You have to be 21 years or older. You can be a single person. You could be married. You could have kids of your own, or this could be your first child. So, yep.
And is there protocol? Because I know there's some of these children that are special needs children. Is there different protocols for all, if you know that there's a child that got very special needs, or maybe let's just say a newborn that's come from a mom that's, been an addict, and this baby is struggling with, that kind of issue. Is there protocols for all that?
Sure. Well, all of our foster parents receive training, but our foster parents who are going to be receiving more specialized children like that, or if that's what their desire is, there's additional training that comes along with that to help them with those cases that maybe require a little bit more, whether it's the child has, behavioral needs or medical needs. Yeah.
You talked earlier about, I hope I can pronounce that right,
multi-systemic
there you go.
therapy.
I can't get it out.
MST.
Okay, MST.
Yes,
all right. Say it again. It's
multi-systemic therapy. Yep, and that's a comprehensive therapy program that we have that is for youth ages 11 to 17 who are at risk of either ending up in a detention center or being incarcerated. They have pretty major social, educational, clinical issues that need to be addressed. And it's a family and community-based approach to helping these kiddos. So it's got over 30 years of research behind it.
Wow.
And it is evidence-based approach. And one thing that we always like to talk about with it is that more than just helping, the youth at risk and their direct family, it is incredibly beneficial to the community as a whole for a couple different reasons. For one, it saves the taxpayers money, which everybody likes.
Yes.
So the cost for the complete therapy for one of our kiddos in the MST program is nearly $5,000. Where the cost of incarcerating somebody for a year average is upwards of $110,000.
Wow.
Yes.
A year? My goodness.
Yes. So in addition, it reduces crime rates in our communities because the MST program has been proven to reduce rearrest rates by 25 to 70% and to reduce, substance abuse or mental health issues for offenders. So, yeah.
And you've probably said it, but is the ultimate goal of the program, is it to get the families reunited? Is that the ultimate goal?
With multi-systemic therapy, now you got me not saying it. The ultimate goal is to really break the circle of crime and to show that there is a positive alternative to incarceration. So, yeah, and it's to work with that family, keep them together, and keep that child out of detention somewhere, keep them at home where they belong.
Amazing. But you know what drives a lot of those children, and correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of these kids have said, I remember a movie from years ago called Boys Town. I don't know if you ever saw it. No. You ought to check it out. It's a great movie. And it was Father Flanagan established a home for boys. And he made this comment, and it's based on a real true story. There's no such thing as a bad boy. And his thing was taking these kids in that, you know, in that era of time were thrown to the curb or the streets because there was no. But a lot of these kids, they're coming through issues that, again, that they didn't ask for. But have you guys found that, you know, maybe because of some things at home or maybe by wrong involvements that has created the issues they're dealing with?
Yes, and that's, you know, the MST program really works with more than just the individual, the kid. It works with the entire family. It works with, you know, their supports in the community. It really tries to address the situation as a whole.
So how does the community as a whole need to be involved with such a program?
With MST? How could they be involved? Honestly, that's a hard question.
Or the whole foster care program.
Oh, with the whole agency.
Whole deal. Yes.
There's numerous ways to be involved. Obviously, you know, we talked about foster parents and the need for foster parents. So if you've ever even, you know, considered or thought that maybe this is something you want, we encourage you to call and we can talk to you about it. People can also volunteer at our agency or at our events that we do. Even something as simple as, you know, sharing our posts on social media. We're on Facebook and Twitter, and helping share those and getting our message out there is incredibly beneficial to us.
Now, I know we're coming up. It's Child Abuse Prevention Month, right?
It is, yes. April is National Child Abuse Prevention Month. And this year, Caritas Family Solutions is launching our Blue Child campaign. I actually brought one with me.
So what's the Blue Child campaign?
Yes, all right. So these are our blue kiddos here. It actually is kind of inspired by the Blue Ribbon campaign, which started in 1989 by a woman whose grandchild passed away, unfortunately, at the hand of his mother's abusive partner. And she hung a blue ribbon on her car antenna to represent the injuries this little boy had sustained.
Wow.
So, yeah, so the Blue Ribbon campaign, it's more than just, you know, acknowledging the problem of child abuse. It's really educating the community and individuals about ways that we can prevent, you know, this horrible tragedy of happening to kiddos. So this year with our Blue Kid campaign, we are partnering with, you know, different area businesses and organizations to really spread awareness of how the community can help in the lives of these kiddos. So we have our little cards, and we're going to be selling them for a donation of $1 or more. You get your Blue Kid, and you can put your name on it.
Awesome.
Those will be displayed at businesses and also at our agency offices, and it'll represent, you know, we've got all of our blue kiddos together. It'll really show, you know, how many kiddos are touched by abuse and neglect, how that impacts their life.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's awesome. And that'll be all over the region. Different businesses will be helping support this.
Yep, because our headquarters is in Belleville, but we also have regional offices. We have Carterville, which is the closest here. We have Mount Vernon, Olney, Effingham, and East Alton. So all of our agencies will be participating local businesses to them. So, yeah.
What are some of your greatest needs for the program right now?
The program
that the people could help with.
Right. We are always accepting of donations, especially like with this campaign. Those donations, you know, go to programs that directly try to reduce the abuse for children in abusive situations. So whether it's helping, you know, parenting classes or anger management classes, or even the individual family counseling. So donations are always welcome. Also, donations of time are hugely beneficial, whether it's, like I said, volunteering just at the agency itself at a local building or one of our special events that we do. And again, we can always use foster families. So that is a great way to, you know, show your support of our agency, is to work with us and become a foster family.
You know, I would take, if you guys had to come in, and I know from time to time it happens through Department of Family Services, a child is removed from a home for many reasons, that, you know, he's put in another home, but he doesn't have the stuff. Do you guys take in people that take in like clothing and goods like that could help with some of these children?
Yes, we do. We do at times, yep. We do need usually clothing and things. I know we did a coat drive this winter to provide coats for families.
Right.
So, yep.
Excellent. So if somebody wanted to learn more
Yes.
about your program, how would they come to get in contact with you?
All right, there's some easy ways. They can just call us at 618-985-2000. That's the Carterville office. And just speak to the, whoever answers the phone, tell them you want some more information, or if there's a specific program you want to learn more about. They can also go to our website, which is www.caritasfamily.org. Or they can follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook.
That's awesome.
Yep.
And one more time here, we're down to our last moments,
Okay.
and we're done. But if somebody's interested in an adoption, this is a great place to come to
Yes.
start anyway, right?
Yes, it is actually our longest program through Caritas Family Solutions. A lot
Really?
of people don't know that. Yep. So it's been with us since 1947, since the start. So we have been doing adoption a long time, and we're pretty good at it.
That's
so.
awesome. That's awesome. And of course, your foster care program, there may be families watching this today that, they've been thinking about it, a little bit nervous about it. Is that for us? But you guys are really going to work with them
Absolutely.
before anything has ever happened.
Absolutely. Yep. Myself and I have 2 coworkers. We work with the families to make sure that they are fully trained and prepared, and we speak with you in depth about what you and your family are interested in or what works with you before we ever place a child in your home.
That's awesome. Ms. Abby, thank you so much.
Thank
you for the
you.
great work that your company is doing with these children. I know it's a blessing to them, probably far more than any of us know. But thank you. And listen, friends, I want to encourage you, if you're interested in being a foster parent, or maybe would just like some more information, I would encourage you to make a contact to the numbers that are on the screen. Call Miss Abby up and let her know, hey, we're interested, and I'm sure they'll take you through everything so that you can make a good and fair decision if it's right for you. Listen, it's been a privilege having you on today, and so especially you. Thank you for what you guys are doing so much.
Thank you.
Listen, friends, if this program has been a help to you about the information day, we would love to hear from you. And if there is a topic of information you would like for us to talk about here on Public Report, well, I want to tell you the great staff here at TCT will pull those people together like Miss Abby, bring them on for such a program like this. You can write to us at Public Report, Post Office Box 1010, Marion, Illinois, 62959. And when you do that, why don't you tuck in a love gift if you can, if nothing else, but tuck in a note and tell Garth and Tina and Tom, Miss Julie, the staff here, what a wonderful blessing the network is to you and to your family. Well, listen, friends, it's been great having you. I hope you've received something today, maybe a little bit more information. Hope you've got inspired, to want to do something. So many people have opportunity, have room, have resource, but are looking for something to do. This is a great place to start. So give them a call today. Hey, we'll look forward to being with you again right here on Public Report.
This has been Public Report. Public Report discusses the issues of interest and importance to our viewing area. Please remember that the views expressed by our guests are their own and do not necessarily represent the views of TCT or the station.